Hey you guys, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing fine and you all are safe and healthy at your place. We are talking about one of the most important topic in Bridge Gap Academy today, and we are talking about muscle. Now when I talk about muscle, what exactly do I mean about it? I mean, in this, what are the reason which causes muscle fatigue? That means tiredness. What causes cramps in the muscle? What is happening inside of in our body, or if any substance is being broken down, accumulation of which leads to this cramp, that we will study. And not just that, we will also study in today's lecture that what are the antagonistic muscle. These three topics, the reasons behind that, these are normally asked in Olympiad and medical entrance examination in one way or the other. They usually twist and ask. So that's what we are discussing about. That is muscle. Now, what exactly is the meaning of antagonistic? As you can see on my screen, it is written opposing muscles. Opposing means opposite. That means that if one is going forward, one is coming backward. If one is contracting, the other might be relaxing. So, opposite function when the muscles are doing, we call that as antagonistic muscles. In our body, bicep and triceps are one of them. If you see this hand, the upper part consists of bicep and the lower part consists of triceps. So whenever the biceps will contract like this, when we do this, you can see a bulb, the puffiness is there over here. So when the bicep is contracting, that time this tricep is in a relaxed situation. Whereas when we go back to the original position, that time the bicep is in a relaxed position and tricep is in a contracted position. So if you can see, the upper part is bicep and the lower part is tricep, and both are working in a opposite manner. We say that as antagonistic muscle. Now with this, I have a very beautiful exercise for you. What you got to do is, if there is a wall in front of you, just do one thing, just stretch your hands. Okay, after 30 seconds or 45 seconds, take your hand, just rub over here, and then again extend your hand, being at the same position. Let me know that your hands are touching the wall or not, and I bet the answer will be no. It will not touch the wall again. Try this amazing exercise, it is real fun. Why? Because when the bicep was in a relaxed situation and tricep was contracted, that time basically this was our initial situation. But when we just lifted our hand back, during that time the bicep had to be in a contracted position, because we just hardly waited for like what, 1 or 2 seconds, and again we stretched our hand. The bicep did not got the chance to come back to its original situation, to get contracted and to make tricep relax at the same time. Because the time is not given, the second time when we again stretch our hands, it is normally appearing as a contracted hand. Why? Antagonistic muscles. So basically these are working in a opposing manner. This is one of the things which are normally asked in the examination. Second thing what is asked normally is, what exactly is a muscle fatigue, or why do we have these cramps? So listen to me very carefully. When we talk about fatigue, what we mean over here is tiredness. Suppose I am sitting in this position for a longer duration. Let's say in a contracted position I am sitting. So basically our body at one moment is having a capability that if at a particular amount of time if I stretch it, it can come back to its normal state. But for a longer duration I'm sitting and I'm not relaxing. Now if I try to relax also, it will be very difficult for me. Why? Because, or it will pain a bit. Sometimes it happens when you stretch your legs, it normally pains. Why it is happening? Because my muscle was having the strength of contraction for a longer duration. Now when it wants to relax, it is having no more energy left, so that it can now relax. So what happens during that? Normally when this energy is not there, it might be due to the insufficient oxygen supply at that particular area, or when glycogen is depleted, the stored food is depleted during that time this happens normally. So what is needed during that time? What is needed is basically relaxation. After few minutes, whenever you are sitting, just try to stretch your legs. After that, in few minutes, just try to fold back your legs so that your legs are working in a coordinated manner and the energy supply and everything is proper. Oxygen supply in your body is proper. Now, fatigue is different and cramp is different. What are cramps? Cramps is basically after vigorous exercise. There is some amount of pain either at the side of the abdomen or at the knee area or at the leg area, the jerky feeling what you get, that is cramp. It is very painful. Why is that happening? That is because in our body we have glucose, isn't it? Just try to understand in a very careful manner. We have glucose. Now glucose is responsible for giving approximately highest amount of energy. Normally when I just talk about glucose metabolism, only carbohydrate metabolism, I'm not talking about protein or lipid, only carbohydrate, that will fetch me 38 ATP. It can be down and up if protein and lipid metabolism also comes into the picture, but only carbohydrate metabolism I'm talking about. Okay, 38 ATP, adenosine triphosphate energy. Correct. Now this complete energy at one glucose breakdown suddenly cannot be given. So it has to be broken down into a stepwise manner. So glucose is first of all with the help of glycolysis. Glyco means glucose, lysis means breakdown. With glucose breakdown, it's turning into pyruvate. Now the fate of pyruvate is, if it is getting oxygen, it will further go to mitochondria for the Krebs cycle after converting into acetyl coenzyme A, of course. But if it is not getting the oxygen, like normally in our condition, insufficient oxygen, when we are doing vigorous exercise, our body is using that oxygen, our body is using that energy. So in this vigorous exercise, the insufficient oxygen is there in our body. Now pyruvate, because it is not getting the proper amount of oxygen, instead of going for a Krebs cycle to break down glucose further for the energy, it goes for a fermentation process, and we call that as a lactic acid fermentation, where the lactic acid is produced. And this is the same acid which is responsible for causing the cramps in our body. So in both the condition, be it fatigue, be it cramps, one thing is common, and that is insufficient supply of oxygen or deficient glycogen breakdown in our body normally. Why it happens? Because of the prolonged position what we are sitting in, or the standing maybe probably, or the second thing can be vigorous thing what we are doing, suddenly we are starting to run faster without stopping, or normally we are going to gym, we are deadlifting the weights and we are not relaxing. So such vigorous exercise leads to this kind of condition. So all three are the important questions: what are antagonistic muscles, what exactly is the muscle fatigue, and what exactly are the muscle cramps. And don't forget to try the exercise which I told you. Stretch your hands for 45 to 1 minute or 30 seconds to 1 minute. Draw your hand for a second or so, and again try to stretch your hand, and let me know what do you find, because I bet what you will get over there will be your shorted hand. Don't worry, your hands are not short, it is completely safe. Just let it relax for some time and again stretch your hand. Your hands will touch the wall. Thank you so much, everyone.